What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In today's video, we're hopping into Ultimate Wolverine issue number 7, with Wolverine returned to the opposition. He's returned to the resistance, but he's still not really sure where he fits in with everything. After being taken over, turned into the Winter Soldier, turned into the living weapon of magic, of Colossus, of the Eurasian Republic as a whole, he's coming to terms with his sins, with the many deaths and lives that he had taken. And while he struggles with the past, with the weapon that they turned him into, the opposition is preparing an assault. It's time for our heroes to fight back. And so they plot and they plan for one of their deadliest assaults yet, freeing mutants. With that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we pick up with this issue, we're picking up in Chernobyl. This is the hideout location of the opposition, but our conversation really picks up with Wolverine and Kitty Pryde. Wolverine is up here and he's been thinking about what he is, about who he is. Because at the end of the day, he's a killer. They wound him up and they turned him loose. The monster that they let loose, it was already inside. They simply unlocked him. And no matter how many people tell him that it's okay, that it wasn't him, that they took control of him, it was his hand that did that. That took out Kurt, that took out Raven. Kitty tries to tell him that they knew, Kurt and Raven both, when they joined the Resistance, when they started fighting, they fought for what they believed in. They knew the risk the entire time, but they didn't die at your hands. They died at the hands of the Eurasian Republic, their oppressors, your oppressors. Telling Logan not to forget this. And while he understands that, he can't also help the glances that are shot at him. The way that people look at him when he walks in a room. They're terrified of him. This isn't something he likes, but he can't blame them for it either. And then he's got these metal claws in him. Everywhere he goes, no matter what, reminding him the murder weapon that killed both Raven and Kurt. The truth is, a part of him wishes that he never left those backwoods of Canada, that he never got involved in the fight. Kitty goes on to explain that you need to remember why you joined the opposition. You saw what was happening to our people like you, and you wanted to help them. This is the ugly face of war. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Sometimes you do things you never thought you could or would do, but you do them because you must. That Logan is a man that has clawed his way away from death. That is not nothing. That he must remember why he did this. Not because of the bad stuff. Not what they did. Not what they made you do. You made a choice to give up everything and become a freedom fighter. That it's hard sometimes. Sometimes the darkness, it gets a little too close to winning. But that's why they have each other. They are all each other's reminders. That's where she tells Logan to come down because Abigail and Mikhail, they've called a family meeting, and it is time for the opposition to make their attack. This is what hops us over to our doctor. After losing the Winter Soldier, unable to track him, unable to find where he might have gone, it was only a matter of time before they found out. This is where we see Omega Red dragging the doctor away. As she is dragged away, she begs, she pleads for help, but magic opens up a portal, that there's an appointment that they have to keep with the good doctor. But before they go to that appointment, they have to make a stop in Limbo. So as they go to torture the doctor, we pick up with Wolverine. We see him running into Sabertooth, and Wolverine is pissed. Wolverine's mad because Sabertooth, he made a promise. He asked Sabertooth to take care of him if he ever got caught. That he knows what they do to their minds. They saw what happened to Yuri, Jono. He can go on and on and on about this list. He asked him a favor. They made a deal. Now Sabertooth goes on to explain he didn't really have a chance to kill him until he showed up at the bar. He's like, well, sue me, dude, because I'm sorry, I thought maybe you could be saved. And the last I checked, you are in fact saved. So you might want to say thank you. Obviously, Wolverine has no intention of doing so in his mind. Wolverine may have blood on his hands, but so does Sabertooth. Sabertooth didn't find him, hunt him down, and decapitate him. Just take him off the board. So Wolverine places a little bit of blame at his foot too. Kitty Pryde breaking up their arguments. This is what hops us down to Limbo. We see the doctor, she is getting tormented, grabbed from every limb and just pulled. Magic is telling her that your failure, it is unacceptable, that you have failed us for the last time. As these demons go to rip her apart, she begs them to stop. She says that she has a way to kill all of them. She has a way to destroy all mutants. As we hop over to Abigail and Mikhail, making his introduction to any new recruits. He also makes note that Logan is returned, that some may be scared of him. Animosity, fear, all that stuff is probably high, but he wants to remind them that those experiments, the scars left behind, the Republic's Winter Soldier program has been overwritten by the One. There is no cause for fear from Logan, and Mikhail understands all too well what it is to be with the enemy. He was once their ruthless leader. Omega Red, Colossus, Magic, they all followed him. He came from the enemy. He knows that trust, it can be earned. And though it pains him to this day to be fighting against his siblings, he says that they're lost. They pledge fealty to one alone, the dark secret of this world. But the truth had been awakened in him, while his brother and sister tortured their own kind for nefarious means. He knew that a counterweight must be provided to strike back, and so he secretly began coordinating the opposition's strategy with Beast and Abigail Brand. And then he took the necessary steps of making sure his death looked legitimate. And with his death, it finally happened. He no longer took orders from a hidden dictator. Instead, he fights for his country. He fights for his people. He fights for the opposition. Today, they change up their strategy. 2 of their bases have already been taken out, but they have taken their greatest weapon off the battlefield. Taking Logan, the Winter Soldier, away from them is a huge blow. It's a huge win for the opposition, but they seek to weaponize mutant kind. This is why they have selected an offensive mission that is going to be their next move. There is a prison on Snake Island in the Black Sea. With them knowing this is a location that they experiment on mutants across the globe, turning them into abominations, this is one of the bases that all the data is held at. But it also appears on no maps, on no databases. They only know it exists because of fragments that they had pulled from Logan's mind. With some help of local intel in the area, they were able to verify that this location does exist. Because of this, they're going to be utilizing a very qualified team. We're going to have Gambit and Sprite, Widow and Guardian, and then Beast and Wolverine. Now, this is where Wolverine actually gets his code name. This is where he gets his mutant name. Because Logan does make note, like, everybody else has a fancy code name and you called me Logan. Beast telling him, like, if you want a code name, you know, let us know and we'll pick one up for you. This is when Guardian, kind of making fun of him, saying the hair and the claws, he looks like a Wolverine. With our strike team assembled, they prepare for their battle. They prepare for what comes next. But as we pick up in the throne room of the Eurasian Republic, a portal opening up with Magic and Omega Red coming out with a doctor, apologizing to their brother for being late. But the doctor has spilled a little secret. She's discovered a possibility, a way to harness the power at the heart of the cerebellum. It needs to be tested, but to use it would mean the utter destruction of the opposition once and for all. That is where this issue will end. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Not a bad issue. This is kind of building everything up, getting ready for what's to come. We got a big fight on our hands. The opposition is aiming to target a prison and free mutants that have been experimented on. If they can free these mutants, they add numbers to their ranks. The fact of the matter is, this is probably a Hail Mary pass. After having 2 bases taken down, taking heavy casualties, it was only a matter of time before the opposition fell, which means they need to replenish their ranks. They need to get more troops, and quickly. The best way to do that is to attack a prison holding prisoners of war, holding mutants that have been oppressed. You give these people freedom, and they will fight to their dying breath to ensure that they can keep that freedom. But it looks like this plan, it may not end up working in the opposition's favor. If the Doctor has figured out some kind of weapon to end the opposition, to end mutant kind, are we talking about a mutant antidote, a cure for mutant kind, or are we talking about using the Phoenix to her fullest potential and eradicating mutant kind through fire once and for all? Let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on everything that is going on with this series, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It'll get you completely caught up on everything that has been going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.